This young lady is one of my favorite YouTubers, and the reason why is because she's really elemental. She just really gets down there with it. Now, what's going to occur here is that someone is going to hit her vehicle and then demand 100 pesos from her. Now, she can't quite understand that, but understand this. In Mexico, all traffic violations are criminal offenses. So, let's say that you're from Tamaulipas and you go to Nuevo Leon and you're parking your car somewhere, but you don't know anyone in that neighborhood. And someone in that neighborhood in Nuevo Leon, Monterrey, hits your car. When they get out of the car and they look at your plate or your lack of license plate, usually in Mexico, they're going to know that you're from Tamaulipas and they're going to start making demands. Or if they hear your accent and it's not the same as their accent, they're going to start making demands. And why are they going to make these demands? The reason why is because they know that they can produce more witnesses than you can. And in that case, Spanish won't save you. See, in her case, Spanish will not save her. So the best thing she can do, go ahead and give the guy the 500, give the guy the 100 pesos, and say to him, hey, you know what? That's okay. You get tú tienes necesidades, yo sé. Tú tienes necesidades porque tu pobreza. Así, tú demanda 100 pesos de una persona que tiene más pobreza que tú. No hay problema. Pero próxima vez, no. Esta vez, okay. Nada que pasa. See, that's how she's got to handle this. Watch how she really handles it.
Let's see what intentas hacer, güey, ¿no? Al final no pasó nada, no les voy a hacer nada.
Mi seguro. ¿Cómo? Si tú me estás pegando a mí.
Tú me pegaste, tú te regresaste a mí.
Tú me pegaste a mí.
No te pegué.
No, lo transo.
A ver, no te vayas, aguanta. Si no, es que tú no la culpa en sí. No tomes fotos, nada. Nomás vete. Dale.
Pero tú le estás llevando a mi
Que no moví mi carro.
Bueno, aunque sea 100 pesos. Que sea 100.
No, pero eso no está bien.
Se dobló todo.
Pero tú me pegaste a mí.
100 pesos.
Okay, now let me explain this. Let's say that the police show up. What they're going to do is look at the deep pockets. They're going to try and figure out which person has the most money. And the person that has the most money is going to be the person who's going to get asked the most questions. Like, muéstrame tu licencia. Tú tienes derecho, todos los derechos en México. Muestra tu aseguranza. They're gonna ask her all of the questions. They're not gonna ask him practically anything. You know. And so what she wants to do, give him the 100 pesos, get the hell out of there.
No.
Sí, espérate. 100 pesos y se queda así.
Sí.
Estoy confiante en usted.
Sí, no hay problema.
Pero eso no está bien.
Espérate.
And I thought I was being the cool one letting him go without.
Now I think what just happened, let me see if I can play it again. I think the guy that's with her, and I've watched this for a couple days now, the guy that's with her, he gave the dude the 100 pesos and rolled with it, I think. Let me see if I can get it, play it back again.
Y se queda así.
Sí.
Estoy confiante en usted.
Tú me pegaste a mí.
100 pesos.
No.
Sí, espérate.
No.
100 pesos y se queda así.
Sí.
Estoy confiante en usted.
Sí, no hay problema.
Pero eso no está bien.
Espérate.
And I thought I was being the cool one letting him go without him paying anything. Then he...
Okay, so this all turned out right. The Mexican guy that was with her gave him the 100 pesos just like he was supposed to, you know, told him, hey, I'm gonna, just like I said before, I'm gonna give you this 100 pesos. Please don't ask me for any more. Spread your hustle, baby. You know, see how he told him? But she's a woman. She's getting all emotional about it, not understanding that it's just a hustle. It's just this guy's hustle. He might be going all over that town that they're in, tapping people. You know, he might be going all over that town, tapping people, and running the same hustle. So the Mexican guy that's with her, that's from Mexico, he knows what time it is. He gives the guy the 100 peso, and he rides on. When I made this video yesterday, I didn't catch that. I'm gonna watch it one more time so you can catch it and watch.
He wants to make a big deal out of it. He wants to call the cops.
Así.
Sí,
Estoy confiante en
son
usted.
Es a mí.
100 pesos.
No.
Sí, espérate. 100 pesos y se queda así.
Sí,
Estoy confiante en
son
usted.
sí, no hay
Ok,
problema.
hasta
Pero
ahí.
eso no está bien.
Espérate.
And I thought I was being the cool one letting him go.
See what I mean? The man gives him the 100 pesos and just lets it go. No police, no involvement, just rides with it. She wants to, you know, charge him up, and she's right. The guy's wrong, but she's in his neck of the woods. And, you know, and you never do know. They call the cops, cop could be his cousin. Call the cops, cops could be his brother. I mean, it's just, you know, dereliction of duty. I hate to use that word, but that's what you're gonna find. I mean, you know, so you it's kind of like you're in the hood. You're deep off in the hood, and you're not from the hood, and you get into a squabble with somebody in the hood. Police get called, but you're not from the hood, and you don't know hood speak. But the other guy that you're in the beef with, he does know hood speak. And unfortunately, what you don't understand is that you can't learn hood speak on the internet. That's a deep herga. You know, every hood has its own little language. So you get in there, and there's hood speak, and there's a cop that normally is always patrolling that, and he's mechando en todos los cosas, you know, and that happens in the hood. And then he gets called in, he's not gonna ride with you. You're not from that. You're not from that neighborhood. He is not gonna ride with you. Calling him, the only thing that he can really do for you is maybe if they're getting ready to unalive you, maybe he can give you a slight bit of separation and allow you to keep breathing. But other than that, he's riding with them. And that's what the guy that's with her in the car, that's what he realizes. He realizes, hey, you know, I don't want the police involved in this. I don't know who they are. The police could be the cartel. The police could be his brother. The police could be a member of his church. I mean, you know, you always got to consider related parties. And, you know, just because you have the language, that doesn't mean that you know the lay of the land. So watch this guy one more time. He's doing it right. Watch him.
Tú me pegaste a mí.
100 pesos.
No.
Sí, espérate. 100 pesos y se queda así.
Sí,
Estoy confiante en
son
usted.
sí, no hay
Ok,
problema.
hasta
Pero
ahí.
eso no está bien.
Espérate.
See? See? Tú puedes confiar en nos. You know, you got our confidence. Okay, okay. That's how you want to do it? All right, here's your 100 pesos. Okay, let's ride. There's your 100 pesos. Okay, bye. See? And that doesn't seem right, and it's not right. But what else can you do? What else can you do?
I thought I was being the cool one letting him go without him paying anything. Then he wants to make a big deal out of it. He wants to call the cops, to call the insurance company, and I bet you he doesn't even have insurance. I bet you, like, the type of car he was driving, bro doesn't have insurance. Imagine someone backing up and hitting you, and then you have to pay him 100 pesos? That's crazy. What do you guys think I should have done? Guys, this car just hit me.
No, she's driving too nice of a car from Mexico. All that's going to happen is that Mexicans are just going to tear her car up. They're just going to tear her car up. And then even if she has insurance, her American insurance company is going to get tired of paying premiums. They're going to get tired of paying premiums, and they're going to raise her insurance up so much that her insurance is going to be for insurance. If that's what she's got, her insurance is going to be $400 or $500 a month. It's going to be $400 or $500 a month. So, where you do this, and I came to Mexico and my car looked really nice, and it just got torn apart. The drunks next door tore the bumper off. I slid around the corner. That was really the road was terrible. It was slick. The road was slick. I hit a curb that was like 12 inches high. I mean, no curb is 12 inches high anywhere in the civilized world, but this was a 12-inch high curb for some reason. Tore the front bumper off. Okay. Axle bent. I mean, just on and on and on. Side swiped. Radiator gone. Air conditioning knocked out. Transmission clicks when it, to get the car in reverse. I mean, now, so you run around and you fix it. What's going to happen in Mexico? You're going to walk outside, some drunk will have hit it all over again. All over again. Because in Mexico, like, my little sweetheart told me yesterday, she said, look, I've been driving for 15 years. And she said, I've been driving 15 years and I don't have a license. Okay, sweetheart next door, she doesn't have a license. I don't know anybody who has a license. I don't know anyone who has a license. But if the Mexican police stop you and you don't sound Mexican, they're going to demand your license. But if you're a Mexican, but the Mexicans know, hey, hold on, wait, how much? See, Mexicans know how much. Just like the guy that was, you only want 100 pesos? Good. Here's the 100 pesos. ¿Tiene confianza en mí? ¿Tiene confianza en nosotros? ¿Tiene confianza en nos? Okay, bueno, ciao, 100 pesos. See, it's that simple. She's still shook up about it. I mean, if you want justice, stay in the United States. They're going to get you some justice. Now, granted, it's going to be just us. It ain't going to be her. It's going to be some justice that's just us. But you're going to get more justice than you're going to get in Mexico. Even though you're going to get some just us, you're going to get more justice than in Mexico. But you're going to have to pay for that just us. Okay, now the photo that the image that started with, that led this video off, is a fender bender here. And I suggest that CHAT GPT give me a fender bender. It's a fender bender. Here's a woman, and she's handing a police officer who's smiling 2,000 pesos. And she's handing the driver who's at fault 100 pesos. But the guy is at fault, but she's doing the paying. And so I say to CHAT GPT, now explain that traffic accidents, no matter how minor, can result in criminal complaints in Mexico, and that the actual initial assessment of fault does not prevent the driver who is at fault from calling the police and filing a criminal complaint. Explain why that is allowed under Mexican law.
Does not require a prior finding of innocence. Since many areas lack consistent insurance enforcement, or in Mexico, any traffic accident, even a minor one like a fender bender, can potentially give rise to criminal complaints depending on the circumstances. This may surprise drivers from countries where most accidents are handled purely through insurance or civil channels. Here's why this is allowed under Mexican law. 1. Dual legal tracks, civil and criminal. Mexico operates under a civil law system where both civil liability, damages, and criminal liability, harmful acts, can coexist. Even if one driver is clearly at fault in a minor accident, that does not prevent them from filing a criminal complaint, especially if they feel they were threatened or insulted, injurias or amenazas. There was property damage deemed intentional or reckless, daño en propiedad ajena, or their personal integrity was compromised, e.g., slight injuries, lesiones. In other words, Mexican law separates liability for damages, a civil matter, from behavioral or procedural violations, a criminal matter. 2. Criminal law includes traffic violations. The Código Penal Federal and various state penal codes include traffic offenses that can be prosecuted as crimes. These include fleeing the scene, abandono de víctima, driving without a license or insurance, obstruction of public ways, or conduct considered disorderly or aggressive. Thus, even if a driver caused the accident, if the other driver curses them out or pushes them, or even just violates another traffic law, they may be able to file a criminal complaint. 3. The police have broad discretion. Mexican municipal and transit police officers often act as first responders and can receive criminal complaints on site, detain individuals, retenor for further clarification, refer the case to the Ministerio Público, prosecutor's office. Since many areas lack consistent insurance enforcement or infrastructure for purely civil settlement, the police serve as a gateway to both civil and criminal recourse. 4. Why a guilty party might still file a complaint. This is allowed because Mexican law treats criminal harm as independent of civil fault. A driver who caused a minor accident may allege that the other party acted abusively, insulted them, refused to show documents, or used threats. A formal complaint, denuncia, does not require a prior finding of innocence. Any citizen can initiate the process. This creates a complex, tactical landscape where people sometimes use criminal complaints to gain leverage or to preemptively defend themselves against blame, even if they were at fault for the accident itself. Final note. Drivers unfamiliar with this system, especially foreigners, may misunderstand the legal consequences of what seems like a minor incident. What matters is not just the collision, but how each party behaves afterward. Lesson. In Mexico, remain calm, document everything, and understand that the legal system allows anyone to file a criminal complaint, regardless of fault in the accident. This is rooted in the civil law principle that injury to honor, person, or property is always subject to potential legal action.
And to sum this up, once you get Spanish, what are you going to do with it? I mean, once you find, it's like love. Once you find love, what are you going to do with it? That's a very important question. And you can see why when people say, oh, I'm fluent in Spanish, you can see the danger. The lady in this video, this YouTuber, she has no problem with the Spanish, but she doesn't understand the legal landscape. She didn't understand, hey, give this guy, like the guy that was with her, probably a Mexican, he gave the guy 100 pesos, and it was ride on. You ride that way, we ride this way. Doesn't matter which one of us rides off into sunset, but we gotta ride. Let's get out of here. Let's not get any authorities involved. And he realized to get the authorities involved, then it just as in that photo where the lady was giving the cop 2,000 pesos and she was giving the driver 100 pesos. That's what the Mexican feared that was with her. He feared that once the cops got involved in it, then they were going to get Metici. And once they got Metici, she was going to wind up paying thousands of pesos rather than just 100 pesos. So the two Mexicans, they already triangulated. They realized that. She didn't realize it. So to answer her question, was that fair? Well, no, that wasn't justice in the land of just us. But you know, it was better than to pay. It was better to pay 100 pesos than to pay thousands of pesos.